Welcome back to another episode of the No Other Option podcast, where the only option is success. We got a special guest here today, but first, I want to introduce my co-hosts. We got Joel. I'm Troy. Joel, I'll let you introduce that's your boy. I'll let you go ahead and introduce him. Let everybody know who we got on the show today. It's going to be a good one. So
Yeah,
go
we
ahead,
got
Steve.
my bad, bro. Yeah, we got Myrtle Beach legend Tre'Darius McCallum, aka Trey McCallum. I never knew his name was Tre'Darius till he went off to college. I had no
Wow,
idea,
that's crazy.
bro. No one ever called you Tre'Darius. I don't know. It was kind of like I don't remember Coach Wilson. I don't remember Coach Moss. Anybody ever calling you Tre'Darius? I don't. Where did Trey come from? Why did everybody just
But
automatically do that?
I guess nobody wanted to call me for my full name, but yeah,
Man, I
it
can't
is.
pronounce this. Nah.
That's what it was.
But yeah, me and Trey, we probably met when we were what, like 14, something like that, 13,
Yeah,
14. You
eighth
were,
grade. Yeah.
yeah, eighth grade. What was it like seeing such a beautiful specimen of an athlete walk in, such as myself, when I transferred back to Myrtle Beach?
Hey man, we knew you. We knew you was the one, bro. You was the golden ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew you was the way out.
Yep, yep. Hey, it wasn't Everett. I got those championships. I'm just saying.
Okay.
And so yeah, me and Trey actually played football together, which is an interesting kind of twist. But my boy Trey now is a professional basketball player. Bringing it up right now, Trey, what's your wingspan?
Bro, I want to say it's probably close to 6, 7 foot,
It's got
6'10", 7 foot.
it's gotta be at
Yeah, it's
least,
kind of
right?
long.
So this
Yeah.
man was walking around shorter than me. I was probably 6'1" at the time, and this man would walk around. I'm not joking, bro. Your hands would be down at your knees.
Yeah.
And like that just is not conducive to lifting or benching. And thankfully you grew into that frame.
Right.
But yeah, I mean I think the time when we got closest was probably in the off season, because every day after school both of us went to the rec center, play basketball, pick up. I was horrible. Like Trey saw me at my worst. Troy's never seen me that bad. Uh But yeah, I always remember you being like a Kevin Durant style player. You used to look like KD a lot. I mean, you still kind of got the look, but you used to look like identical to that man.
My
Same
idol, bro.
same frame, everything. Like I'd say, really, I mean, very very similar play styles in general. Would you say that's who you model your game after?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, that was probably like the first basketball player I ever like seen, like personally watched on TV. I started watching basketball pretty late, and that was like the first one I saw. So it was like, why not? Like his game was so smooth, it was just so crisp. It was like what made basketball look like basketball and make it feel like that. And I just kind of just took it and just kind of just followed behind him. Just kind of just took things he did in the game and try to mimic his moves. Even though it was just pickup, I was just trying to do everything he did, and just hey, he was kind of like the reason why I dream big in basketball because of Kevin Durant. Like he was my favorite player at a young age, and when I started playing basketball, so that was just the first person I saw really hit the court, and it was like, wow, that's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to be. So just kind of just trying to mimic him and trying to follow in his footsteps the best I could.
Yeah, I remember those pickup games with Anthony McRae. I think was pretty much the only reason I would ever get picked up. Shout out Anthony.
My guy.
Yo, if you're looking for a house in Fort Lauderdale, Anthony McRae. But
Hit him up.
yeah, that's my boy. I love Anthony. He picked me up even though he knew I was the worst, and I have to say I think he could have played decent at the varsity level. I think.
For sure.
I don't
Oh,
think
for sure.
Myrtle Beach didn't fare with that. I mean, dude had all right, Troy. So for like context, Anthony couldn't see anything without his glasses, but that man would play basketball without his glasses on and still have better vision than anybody on the court.
That's impressive.
It made no sense.
It's true, bro. It's very true.
It made absolutely no sense, man. He would go, all right, put these down because he didn't want to break them.
Yeah.
I play with them on, still have no idea what was going on. Going back to the Myrtle Beach thing, did you ever try out for Myrtle Beach Middle School's basketball team or Myrtle Beach High School's basketball teams?
Bro, I tried out for every basketball team up from 7th grade to 10th. Well, so I made it in 11th grade when I switched schools.
Yeah.
So literally from middle school all the way up to 11th grade is when I got cut from every basketball team I tried out for.
Which doesn't make any sense because you were still rating threes back then, which, I mean, kind of leads to 9th grade. We played in the same rec league. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We both played rec league. I think it's the last year of eligibility for playing rec league or whatever. Your dad was one of the coaches.
Right.
I remember when we played y'all, and I remember looking being like, damn, that's Trey's dad. Like, he's tall as, how tall is your dad?
Dad's probably sitting at 6'7" right now. He's taller than me still.
He's taller than you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing him and just being like, oh, okay. We won that league. Y'all didn't. I just want to point that out.
He tried to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah,
we won that league. I got the chip. I mean, that's really what mattered. I was a defensive powerhouse at that point, blocking shots.
Nothing goes in the hole. Nothing.
Nothing went in. All right, so I took one shot the entire season. I made one basket. I'm 1 for 1, 100% shooting, all that, But I blocked the shit out of so many kids, I'll tell you that. That's why puberty is a big difference in those leagues. But no, what do you think that you learned from your dad back then? Because your dad, I mean, tall man. I mean, he has to have some basketball experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, he played a little bit, but it was cut short. He had a family and everything. But what I could take away from him is his aggression towards the game. He's always growing up hearing how my dad used to go to pickup games in the men's league, and you got an old fella come. Your dad used to bow me in my face all the time. Your dad used to be aggressive. Yeah, I left with a black eye that game, but I guess it's just that fight. It passed down to me. You know what I'm saying? So just having that from my father and just hearing those type of stories, kind of is like, wow, my dad was like that on the court. I think I want to be the same way. Like, so
yeah.
I guess just taking that from him. He taught me the little basic stuff like shooting and things, but he didn't really teach me the basketball, like what I needed to know. I think he did his part, and then he knew I was going to get sent off somewhere. I was going to learn the game a lot more. So I think he did what he needed to do just to get the foundation started for me. And I just kind of just took that and just made it work for the time I had, you know what I'm saying? So I got to where I was at, like college and stuff like that. So just that aggression, that passion for the game, and that fearless attitude on the court and stuff like that. I think that's what I got from him. I'd not seen it, but also just kind of like hearing from it from other people, and also just kind of like, also, it's my dad, so I can feel his aggression towards things. So like when he was speaking about things about basketball, I just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is what he means. This is how he's taking it, how he did it. So I just kind of took that and just kind of just like took it into my mind and just figured it out myself. But he did give me the blueprint of what I needed just to get to where I needed to go,
Yeah, I will say, I know you had definitely the aggression on the offensive side. You had no qualms about shooting the ball from anywhere, wherever you wanted. I know that was a thing. That was always a thing. And nobody really ever had a problem with you shooting from wherever you wanted, no matter who we were playing with. Let's go on to 10th grade. All right.
Yeah.
So that's when you hit your growth spurt. Because I think I remember telling you this probably when we were like 18 or 19. But I saw you one week. I was probably 6'1" at the time. Now I'm 6'3". Shout out tall people. No offense, Troy.
We holding it down.
But no, I remember seeing you off season one week, and I swear you were shorter than me. Next week, you come in. We were standing in the varsity locker room. I think Shot Michael, rest in peace, was there. Probably like Kenny Herbert, David King. I don't know. Somebody else was there. But I remember you walking in, and I was like, how'd you grow so much so quickly? And like, like exactly how much you grew in that like time period leading up to St. James?
Bro, no, the thing is, like, I didn't even know I got tall. That's the funny thing is, like,
it just happened
it just happened so quick. Like, I went from 5'9", 5'10" to like 6'2", 6'3" in like a summer. So it was just like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even really realize it until I like go to my friends and they're like coming up to my chest and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I grew a little bit. Like, and everybody's like, you grew. I'm like, I can't tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt normal. Like, I didn't even think anything of it.
You didn't have all those aches and pains people talk about?
No, man,
Yeah.
I really didn't have growing pains. I mean, I don't know what it was. I really didn't have it because it was like I was growing, but I wasn't like just sitting around. I was still active as a young kid. You know what I'm saying? I was moving around, going outside and stuff like that. So I guess that kind of helped the pain go away because I was just so active and just moving my bones and my joints and stuff. It kind of like helped it out a little bit more. But yeah, man, I don't know how I got tall, but it happened.
Yeah, it did for sure. And I guess from there, let's go on to like the move to St. James because I don't know the full story on that either. I'm assuming it's because you kept getting cut at Myrtle Beach, right?
No, man. I'm actually from that end. And like my mom and we always lived on that end. And I went to St. James from kindergarten all the way up to eighth grade. You know,
Oh,
from
really?
yeah. So St. James was my base school. Like I always went to St. James. I didn't went to no other school. And I guess after the 10th grade year, you know, when I got hurt in football and then I wasn't making a basketball team, I think it was just a change because I wanted to play sports, but Myrtle Beach just wasn't giving me a legitimate chance. And they didn't know. They was always on that favoritism stuff. So when I made that move, I felt like it was the best decision because I wanted to play basketball. Like at that point, I started wanting to play basketball. I kind of just gave up hope on football because I've been playing it for so long. I just kind of like lost the love for it, you know. So and then I picked up the basketball, and it was like energy just shifted. Like I wanted to go ahead and go that direction, and then I finally went to St. James. You know, I felt I was back at my school. I know I had a great chance of making the basketball team because it's the same kids I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Play rec league with, and I
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
that I knew I can go there and actually make the team and do what I need to do on the court. So I got there and I made it, and the rest was history. You know, it wasn't the best, you know, the situation when I got there and everything how it ended, but I made the best of it. But I was just thankful that I got a chance to actually make a team, and because I felt like if I would have got cut from there, no telling where I would be at right now.
See, I think you and I ran into a lot of the same issues because like when it came
Mm-hmm.
to on the field, like yeah, when we were conditioning stuff, I had horrible asthma. I know you remember that. But
Yeah.
I ended up having nose surgery and stuff later, and it actually fixed all those issues to where I could sprint and stuff. But like when it came to on the field, production wasn't like a problem for me. But I don't think Myrtle Beach ever gave me a really fair chance, so I ended up going over to Saugastee at the same time that you went to St. James, and
Mm-hmm.
immediately playing time. And I I don't know. I know what you mean, favoritism stuff, man.
Yeah.
But thankfully we both, did our thing, we transferred and
Yeah.
that's a very positive thing.
They were both big schools though. I mean, you see that at big schools. I mean, that was a y'all were probably 3A, 4A
We were
when
Yeah.
y'all
3 at
met.
the time.
3A then 4A now.
Yeah,
But
so I
Murray
mean,
Beach was like such a powerhouse still in their like their prime. So it's kind of like I see what they mean like as far as the favoritism because there was a lot of athletes at that time when we was in school, bro. There was a lot of athletes. So it was
For
like
sure.
I didn't really get down about it, but it was like, damn, I wish I still had a chance. I know I can compete, like, but you expect that from a powerhouse like that during that time. So it wasn't even like it
Yeah.
just had so many options to choose from, but it was like so I think they made the decision that they wanted to make, but I feel like for us, like we just wanted that chance, you know, so we just had to go
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's one thing again, that we have in common is that we both had that drive that we wanted to do what we wanted to do and we didn't want to be
Right.
limited because of, what was going on there. And I respect that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I went over there, blocked for Hunter Renfro. I'm gonna say that every single podcast episode.
you got
Uh,
Oh,
you
but
got to.
but nah, nah. I remember coming and seeing you play against Myrtle Beach when you were at St. James. Actually, it was at St.
hmm
James. Myrtle Beach was coming to you.
hmm
I don't remember who won, but I remember you being out there. And man, you got even taller. And
uh,
and there were those two tall white dudes. I don't remember what their names were. Honestly, you know what I'm talking about?
Matt and Russ, yeah, Matt and Russ.
What was it like playing there, like back home at St. James versus going to Myrtle Beach High School, which is
Damn,
crazy. I
man,
don't know. That's a crazy place.
I took it personally, you know, because that's where I like. Even though I went to St. James and everything, but when I went to Myrtle Beach, that's like when I like found myself. That was like my core. Like I found my best friends for life there. Um, so I just took it personal. I was like, man, like your coach didn't want me. He's gonna hate this. He gonna hate me after this game. That's how I was feeling. Like
I respect that.
And I never lost to Myrtle Beach since then. Like I never lost to Myrtle Beach in basketball ever since I started playing basketball. So I was like, I just took it personal. Like I should be here playing on y'all team, but your coach doesn't want me, but he's gonna feel this now. Like
Yeah,
so,
100%.
And then they come in the St. James or we going to Myrtle Beach. It just felt that was probably like the best game of the year right there. Just that was my rival, even though our rival was Saugus Steep, but Myrtle Beach was my rival just because of that reason, just because of that fire I had. I just wanted to, because I always wanted to play with my friends, like I always wanted to play with my best friends. I never got a chance, and now I get to play against them. So I was like, yeah, I took the time. I took that and I really forced the issue on that.
I mean, a lot of them, were guys that we played at the rec with after school in the spring too. So that's kind of a wild turn. I mean, it probably had to feel more comfortable, honestly, playing against them because you've been playing against them for so long.
Right. So I knew what everybody wanted to do. I knew how you want to do this. I knew how your coach. So it was like, yeah, I'm prepared.
And those scouting reports.
Yeah, man, I'm prepared.
So I know a lot of people bring this up probably when they talk to you, but older sister Khadijah Sessions. Well, first of all, let's give her a shout out. I think she's now on the South Carolina women's
she's on staff,
right?
Yeah.
She's on staff
assistant
now.
Assistant coach, and player development.
Yep, for Don Staley, the GOAT of women's basketball coaching, in my opinion. I think in a lot of people's opinions.
She getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Don Staley coached Team USA last Olympics, right? Two Olympics. That's 2 Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I mean, Khadijah. It's kind of crazy to believe that Myrtle Beach didn't give you a chance, being Khadijah's little brother.
Oh well, nobody really knew that while I was in school. If you knew, that's when you knew. But like as far as the coaches and stuff, they didn't know. Like I guess it wasn't a big thing. Yeah, they didn't really put 2 to 2 together. Even though we rode to school every day, they still didn't put 2 to 2 together.
Yeah. Well, how did her accomplishments in college? I think she started 3 out of 4 years at University of South Carolina. Kind of helped turn the school into a powerhouse. She was part of that big movement. She was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. I think I remember it coming down between USC and UNC, and I remember being hyped that she committed to USC. And I actually remember seeing her when I went to USC for a year and a half. How did her having all of that experience, and I think she even got a Team USA tryout too, didn't she?
She has a gold medal, bro. She went with them when they went to Puerto Rico and they won. She had a gold medal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not educated on that. I apologize. But yeah, she's got so many accolades. Like, what kind of advice did she give you as far as basketball goes too? Because she was a skills coach for a bit too, like between her professional career and then afterward, right?
She still is. She's my personal skills coach. She still trains me to this day.
Is she?
Like during the summer, I go up there and work out there, and I go live with her during the summer and training, bro. Like she's still that. She still has that, and she's pretty much the main reason why I am right now in my professional career, because she got me better each and every year. I improved each and every year, and the results showed. But just knowing that we had that in our household was something special. I really sometimes I can't take it in because it's my sister. It's my blood. It's like I grew up with this girl, and now seeing her doing big things is like it opened up your eyes a lot. Being the youngest sibling and seeing your older siblings do stuff in front of you is just like it's crazy, bro. I couldn't believe it when she got a job. I was just like, man, like you're really doing it. And sooner or while it's gonna be her team. So I'm like, that's kind of like how I'm seeing my sister's vision with that. Like she's gonna end up being he's either gonna be in the Don Staley's place whenever Don Staley decides to get done with the coaching. I feel like it's gonna be my sister's team. So that's kind of how I'm seeing at it. But as far as like her advice and stuff, bro, she pretty much seen it all. She's been in those rooms with those conversations. So she gives me the insights of what to expect and what I should do. Like I said, she's been helping me out ever since I started playing professional basketball, and she just knows. And being her little brother, she knows what I got. Like she knows what's in me. So her thing is just trying to get it out. She's just be that person that you are, be that basketball player that I know you are and that the family knows you are. So she just kind of like just make sure that I'm just doing my part, because she don't want to see wasted talent. And especially being her brother, she definitely don't want to see that because she always going to be like, you my brother, you can't be no bum on that court, like she literally tell me that, but I know it's coming from a great place because she really means it. Like she expects more from me just because. So I kind of like just take that, and every time we work out, we just have that connection and stuff like that. Like she can yell at me and everything, and I won't get like bothered by it because I know it's just coming from a place where she just wants me to get better. It's coming from a place of love and everything. So with that, it's just like at the same time, I'm just like, wow, like that's my sister, bro. Like I can really brag and say that's my sister. She's doing big things. And it's kind of overwhelming. Like sometimes me and my dad, the other day, like we were sitting in the man cave. We was like, bro, coach session, that shit sounds good. Like we're just so wild. Like, damn, like my sister's really doing that thing. And like we never knew it would be coming like this, but it came. So we just really just bracing it on. And from the aspect of her being on my side and everything, like she's played an important part in my life as far as professional basketball and just life in general. Like she really took me on her wing and showed me things I needed to know before I like go places and start playing. So with her, I mean, she's been helpful a lot in a lot of aspects. So I'm just thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome that she's your personal skills coach. At least when she's yelling at you, she's yelling from like a foot below your head. So, but no, it's awesome to see the dynamic of like somebody with such raw talent like you, and the raw natural size, natural physical gifts, and then you have a sister who is, I mean, women's basketball players aren't necessarily that tall normally.
Right.
So you get somebody who's on the skills side of things where, fundamentals are the key and you put them together and, you get a great outcome. The one thing I want to clear up, all right, because I don't know the answer to this, and I don't think most people know the answer to this. Is Karditsas Sessions' cousin Ramon Sessions?
We get that question a lot. No, they're not related.
Not related.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Hey, you never know. But
you don't know if you don't ask.
Yeah. But like with Ramon though, like because how Myrtle Beach is, like it's all family. Like I remember him coming to the house when he was playing with on LA. I remember him coming to the house when he was on the Wizards, like all that stuff. I remember when he dunked on LeBron, and that next summer he was at the crib chilling with my dad and my uncle. So it's like he's family, but he's not like actual blood, So
maybe it's distant blood. You never know.
Yeah, distant blood. You can say that.
I think everybody at Myrtle Beach, honestly, is related one way or another.
Facts.
He was my favorite player, aside from Kimba on the Charlotte Bobcats when they had that nice 1-2. Actually, I remember like there was a cheerleader kind of simping for Vermont Sessions. Like she was out there screaming and going crazy when he checked into the game. I remember that, and I was like, "Who are you?" Like,
groupies.
Yeah, I was like, "Huh? All right, I see you, Ramon. All right." Yeah, I mean that was also another thing too. Like there was that Ramon Sessions sign ball at the rec center, and I always thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to walk into the gym in Myrtle Beach, and you see the Ramon Sessions Milwaukee Bucks jersey, and that was such a dope thing. And
right.
I don't think a lot of people know this, but he's the single game assist leader for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he had 24 assists, something like that, in one game.
He went off.
Yeah,
that's tough.
56th overall pick out of Nevada, but hey, he did a lot more than most 56 overall picks.
That's true. That's
crazy.
It's tough, though. It's tough.
So moving on to college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just wanted to see how was the transition, man, from high school to because you did like half a season at like a prep school, right?
Yeah.
College prep. How was that transition?
The transition, it was kind of tricky, At that time, I was still trying to figure out myself as a basketball player. I was so young to the sport. My first year being in my 11th grade year playing basketball, just kind of crazy.
Yeah, really.
So it was like I was still young, man. I was just basically just playing off ability to rebound, pass the ball and play hard. That's all I knew. Like my dad just always said, play hard, So the transition from that to prep school was kind of just like, okay, we're playing better competition, but I can still play hard. I can still control what I can control. You know what I'm saying? Like I can still do this. And like I always told you, I had that fearless attitude, so I didn't really care. I didn't really care who was in front of me at the time. Like they can be the top in the state, I really wouldn't care at that time. It's just that fearless attitude I had. So that kind of helped me transition to playing better teams in prep school because we was playing small NAIA schools, was playing JUCO schools and stuff like that. So it's like I had to like kind of just step it up just a tad, just because I know the competition is gonna be a lot better than what it was in basketball. I mean, in high school. So the transition, it was kind of smooth. I don't think I think I got my biggest reality shock or transition to basketball. The hardest transition was probably when I went to junior college. That was probably like the hardest thing I had to really accept and realize because I went to a school called Indian Hills. We was number 2 in the nation. Like I think we went from 1, 2, and 3, 3, 2, and 1. Like we always fluctuated from 1, 2, and 3 in the top of the country. So that can only imagine the type of competition, the type of players we have on our team. So like that part really woke me up. That transition was probably a little bit harder because now I'm playing against the top players in the country, and now I'm playing against schools that are coming in to try to beat us because we are top 3, top 2, top 1 in the country. So it was like that. I felt like that transition was just a little bit more tougher because now I saw that I was a little bit behind in the game because I started so late, So I had to play catch up with a little few things. Now I got to learn this, now I got to learn that while still learning the game. So I felt like that was probably like that was probably like the toughest time and toughest transition I really had to have at that point in my career was from high school, prep school, going to junior college.
Oh yeah, well, especially with the growth and popularity of junior colleges, you got shows like Last Chance U coming out.
Mm-hmm.
What was the like culture shock moment? Like, damn, I'm in Iowa, Centerville, Iowa, or whatever. Like, I'm not in Myrtle Beach or where. Like, I'm here. I'm stuck. Like this is it. Like, what was that moment?
Man, well, my first school was in Wyoming. I was
Okay.
only there for like a half a year, and then stuff didn't work out. But that was my first, like, whew, man, first time going on a plane and getting to Denver and getting on a small plane with the propellers to land where I was at in Wyoming. And I get there, it's nothing, it's nothing but white outside, just like 3 feet of snow, and then you see random deer run across the road, and you see nothing but mountains, and like I think that was the biggest thing. That's why I was like, wow, it's more than just a beach and sand, So I think that was the biggest shock right there. It was just actually leaving home and going to a new place by myself, by alone, being 18 years old, So it was like just seeing new things for the first time and having to live like that was a big shock for me. And I'm grateful it happened, So I don't ever see it as a bad thing because like I don't want to be that person that never sees anything outside of Myrtle Beach. And I felt like that was like the biggest accomplishment because, like, I'm leaving home. I don't want to look back like I'm doing something. It's not like I'm leaving home for a bad cause. So it was a shock. It was a culture shock, but it was also like a reality shock of like, okay, yeah, this is more. It's more to life, So, but I embraced it all. I loved it. I got to see new things, got to meet new people, get to see different sides of the world or the country and stuff like that. So it was kind of like. It was a good culture shock for me, if I may say.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, it's you always see on the shows, man, like the biggest one is the basketball one, obviously on Netflix. They got like six guys in a room sleeping on 4 beds with something crazy going on. Like they got 2 TVs, 1 bathroom, like all of this, and they just like, well, we all here just trying to get to the same place. Just trying to get to that same place. So what was the recruiting experience like once you got to that junior college level? So walk us through, your first 2 years in the JUCO.
Well, like I said, I went to Wyoming first. The recruiting there wasn't anything special because I was just getting on the court and I had to sit out half a year because I transferred halfway through the season. I think I got there like January, so the season was already in, so I had to sit out, and then I came back played like 13 games, and it just kind of didn't work out with things, so I had to end up leaving. But when I got to junior college, I'm not junior. When I got to Indian Hills, that's when I kind of seen how the recruitment was going. You know, we had, like I said, when I first came there, I still didn't play because I had to sit out because I just transferred to Indian Hills. I was still on team. I was still part of a team that was top 5 in the country. You know, so I was seeing schools like North Carolina, NC State, uh, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Big 10 schools, Big 12 schools. I was just seeing that like, is this a practice or is this a damn showcase? Like, I'm just looking like it's a line of coaches on the side just watching this practice. Like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? Like, what are they doing? So I didn't really understand that until I came back my following year and actually got to play and actually got to see what it's like to practice in front of those coaches. Like literally every school you can think of was in our practice, other than Duke, because Coach K is not recruiting JUCO players.
Yeah.
But like other than that, every school you can think of, the coach can think of came through our gym, bro. Like literally, like from low major to high major, every school literally came in there, and you might see the same school 3-4 times. Like it was serious. So I figured like at that point in my time, I was like, I'm at a good place for the recruitment. You know, like the school itself, the name itself is already going to attract coaches by itself. So it was like, why not use it to my advantage? I'm already on a team full of killers, full of great players. Like they're here to see these players, but they're also here to see me because I'm part of this team. So I kind of like just took that in and was like, all right, let's go time. That's what I felt like. I felt like at that point I can get recruited by these schools because they're coming to see me anyway, and they already know what I'm capable of playing on this caliber of team. But that's probably like one of the best things I can ever think of was just seeing all those coaches come in. I'll practice daily and just they got their clipboard over there. They're sitting like this, just evaluating of anything. So I felt like just being in Indian Hills helped me a lot on that recruitment side because I feel like if I was anywhere else, I wouldn't get that type of exposure is how they got it. So I think that worked to my benefit in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When it came down to the moment, man, how did you what made you pick DePaul out of all of that whole experience? What was the defining moment for you?
Bro, honestly, it was just a situation, you know, coming into one of the top conferences in the country, Big East, coming into a school that really needed help, coming into school that was a good fit for me, coming in and playing immediately, don't have to fight for a starting position, don't have to fight for minutes, coming in, starting and playing 33, 35 minutes a game, shoot the ball, get to touch the balls. Like I felt like that was the best thing, and that was like the best option for me because, like I said, it's a top country. It was a top conference in the country. Like Villanova won the national championship 2 out of the 3 years I was at DePaul. Well, they won it my senior year and they won it the year before it came, and then my junior year they was number 1 in the country. So I got to experience stuff like that. I got to play against the number 1 team in the country. I got to play against the best guards you can think of, like Marcus Howard and Jordan Rousey, and you have Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. Do you have Michael Bridges? Then like Big East was the Big East. Like it speaks for itself, you know. So I felt like having that opportunity to compete on that stage and have it given to me with the starting position and starting all this and that, I felt like I couldn't beat that. And me and my dad just looked at each other like, yeah, bro, this is it. Like this is where I need to be. Like this is the place I can show my talents. I don't have to go nowhere and have to worry about somebody being in my position or my spot. And I can just go ahead and play right away and learn quickly. So I just felt like it was just a great situation for me, you know. So and rightfully so. But just all that comes down to it being Big East, being a high major basketball program, and just everything it just fell right into place at the right time for me. So I think that was the best thing.
Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all, I mean, you went to the Big East when it was like cream of the crop. I mean, the
Jumping.
I mean, top 5 teams was, battling it out pretty much the entire time. You had Creighton. They were
Forgot
competing
about
for a
them.
while. Providence was competing. They was Gonzaga and Xavier. They were always ranked.
Yeah, man.
I mean, who was it? Xavier had or not Xavier, sorry, Villanova. They had Brunson, McHale,
DiVincenzo,
DiVincenzo. I mean, that
Chris
was
Jenkins. They
yeah, that
had
was
everybody, bro.
yeah,
Like the
yeah.
whole national championship team came back, bro. Like I had to
Yeah.
face them for 2 more years. Like, come on, man. Like it was real, bro. It was real.
So speaking on just playing, I know you played a bunch of more people, but man, what do you
Mhm.
think? Like in your college years, what was your toughest competition? Like matchup wise, non matchup, just who would you think was you saw him? He was like he's just tough. Like that
It was
boy.
like an individual
Yeah, just individual.
in college. Um, I would say Marcus Howard from Marquette.
Okay.
He was a bucket. Like he every time we played him, he had 35 or 40. Like he was a bucket, like pulling up from half. Whatever he wanted. It's just like a video game to him at this point, bro. It's just like he was just going crazy. Like, and to this day, he's in EuroLeague killing. Like he was like a legit bug. I feel like he was the only person I'm like, damn, like niggas is really cold out here. Like dudes are like real life buckets. Like you just looking like how is he even human type joint? Like so I think Marcus Howard from Marquette was probably like the biggest, like when just actually being on the floor and then you go to the Bucks arena and it's sold out and like DePaul and Marquette's like kind of like a rival because Milwaukee and Chicago is kind of but just that just see if he hits a three and the way he just looks at the crowd like what's up like bro it's like some things like that you just can't even dream of but he was like that he was definitely cold like coldest dude I probably seen man.
Made it 10 times worse just because it was at Marquette too.
Just because, bro. Like, oh my goodness, he hits 1 3. I swear, it's like this floor is just literally vibrating. Like you're looking at the coach trying to call a play. You can't even hear, like you can't even see anything. Like it's just that type of like, and he did that. Like just knowing a player can do that for his fans is crazy, bro. Like it's crazy. But I'll say he's probably the only person in college that probably like woke me up and said, "Wow."
What was your favorite moment, game, anything that you can think of from your 2 years playing
Oh,
at?
playing against Villanova when it was number one.
Oh
You
yeah, I knew
know,
you were gonna say that. I knew
yeah,
you were gonna say
having them down to the wire to last possible shot.
that.
I think that was probably my best game of my college career. I had 20 against the number one team in the country. So it's like if we just would have won, how much different my life would have been. Like
Yeah, for
just
sure.
look like just having that opportunity of being like, damn, if I win this game, bro, like ESPN is gonna be crazy. Like I'm gonna have this, that, like, but I felt like even just having that opportunity to play against the number one team in the country it was just good, bro. I was just thankful because not a lot of people get the opportunity to say that. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to even score or show what they can do in games like that. So I was just thankful that I got the opportunity to do that. But by far, that was like the biggest moment right there in my career was playing against them and when they was number one.
Yeah, I mean, Trey, I'm sure you remember. I used to message you after some of the games and give you my
Yeah.
opinions, which totally out of line, but I don't care. Uh, no,
Cool.
no. I mean, you gotta message your boy, tell him doing a good job. But I think that was one of the few games I actually missed. But
Mm.
one question I wanted to ask you was they played you as more of a big, and I think I had reached out and talked to you about this. They played you as more of a big at DePaul, whereas
Mm.
you're more of a. Do you see yourself as more of a big two or a three? What would you say?
Uh, well, I always tell people this, bro. I really don't. I'm positionless, bro.
Positionless.
Like the things I had to do for my professional team this past 2 years has really made me positionless. So, but at DePaul, man, it was using me as a face-up four, stretch four. I had to play the five a little bit, but the reason why they did that because they saw how fearless I was. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really care how big you were, or if you were 7 foot, 200, 300 pounds, like, or you was a little guard. That was nice. Like I felt like they knew that I didn't care. So they just used me at that position because I can switch on everything. And then if it was a switch on offense, I have a mismatch. But I feel like me personally, I like to say I'm positionless, but I like to say I'm a true wing player, like a true three. Just my ability to put the ball on the floor, and I can shoot, I can play make, I can do a lot of shit, bro. Like, but I just felt like
Yeah.
then they used me at that position just because it was suitable for them at the time, and then they needed that at that position. So I felt like I didn't. It didn't bother me. I mean, I got to see every matchup I can possibly think of, 1 through 5. So it was just like I really didn't have a position, but I was stuck at the 4. I didn't want to be at the 4 or the 5, but it is what it is. It worked out for the best of me because I still can show what I can do. I'm just at this position, you know.
Yeah, still raining threes.
Yeah, still,
but,
yeah, you know.
but just not getting as many shots as you should have.
Yeah,
I'll say that openly. There was that one point guard that was pretty nice too, but I don't know, man. He was getting some of your shots. Obviously, you say you got some of your fearlessness from your father, but how much do you think you got from playing football at Myrtle Beach? And because remember, we used to, got your tank your piss, boy, get on the line. Like, remember that? Remember Coach Wilson used to scream that? It's the most like gut wrenching thing. You know, you get, oh God, you got to go run some more. You know, you got to be fearless. You got to finish through the line. You know, do you think any of those values also really helped you at DePaul and really helped distinguish you as a player?
Oh yeah, I mean, playing football all my life really helped me translate to basketball, just the physical part of it, and it was that, and then like they helped in a lot of ways. Like if I was to jump for a football, like as a receiver, I could just use that in basketball. It's like I'm going to get a rebound. You know, if I'm trying to go for a fumble, I can use it as a loose ball on the court. So like I use things that I use in football to basketball, if that makes sense. Like I just kind of like use certain physicality or certain movements I can translate to basketball, which helped me a lot. So, but football actually did really make me fearless because I was such a aggressive person on the court, on the field. So it kind of helped me when I got to basketball because you know basketball players don't like to be physical, and I love to be physical. Like as soon as I bump you like if I bump you, you give me the wrong reaction, I got you right there. Like I know you don't want to be physical. Well, as far as like on the football field, you got pads and stuff, somebody can hit back, but I can hit you first and you not do anything. Oh yeah, I love that. So it kind of like it helped me. It helped me a lot with my physical part on the court because people really don't like to bump and stuff like that. So I just take that to my advantage and just be like, yeah, you ain't played football as a kid, and I can tell.
Yeah, I definitely think in general, I think the Myrtle Beach attitude is something that we don't really talk about that much, but I think everybody who went to Myrtle Beach High School at least kind of just has that Myrtle Beach attitude, like, you know, kind of physical, it definitely hardens you a bit.
That is true. Because like I said, we had a lot of athletes come through Myrtle Beach, bro. It's like, and we saw how they played. Like we saw how good they were. It's like, why not take that same attitude, you know?
Yeah, I just remember being a freshman. We're coming in and we had Trey Vivian. He'd already been starting as a freshman on varsity. And like, I was like, huh? And you know, he's out there, he's physical. If he'd been just a couple inches taller, there's no telling how hard he would have been recruited.
Exactly.
You know, we had OT. If he'd been a couple inches taller, man, be in the NFL.
Facts.
You know, we had some very tough people out there. But yeah, I mean, so going on from DePaul, did you enter the draft? Was there any part of that? What did you do? You didn't enter the draft?
Nah, man. I think about this all the time, man. I didn't really do it the right way that I should have because I didn't have that guidance. You know, I didn't have somebody telling me I should do this. I didn't have anybody telling me I should do that. And when I was at DePaul, I didn't really have the relationship with the coaches for them to tell me to do that because it was more so them trying to save their job. You know, like DePaul wasn't on the winning streak of this and that. So like, you know how that is with coaches and stuff. You know, it's a business. Like they're just trying to save themselves. So they're doing whatever they can to save them. So when I graduated, I didn't really have that guidance of what I should do. I just felt like, all right, season's over. Now I can go pro. Like I didn't think anything of put my name in the draft. I didn't think anything of that. It's just because I didn't know. I didn't have nobody really telling me. And my dad can't tell me because he really didn't know either. So it's like, all right, just kind of figure it out on my own. And then I wish I would have done it a lot differently. But, you know, things happen for a reason. And the paths. Can't really knock down the path that I took to get to where I'm at. But I feel like if I would have done it that way, if I would have put my name in the draft and see what would have happened, then I think things could have been a lot different. But we're not really sure, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, you still ended up playing, I believe, the following year for the Windy City Bulls.
I played well. So after I graduated, I went overseas first, and then I came back and played for like 13, 15 games, and then I got dismissed and went back overseas. Came back from over there and practiced with them as a practice player. Then the following year, I came back and was there for the whole year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had reconnected after the DePaul years, and then talked a little bit while you were on the Windy City Bulls too. And I have to ask, I don't know what NBA 2K it was, but the one where you start off as a G League player, and they're like, oh man, there's old heads, there's drafted players, there's all walks of basketball life there, right? I guess, can you talk to like how accurate that is, and like when you're traveling, you're on the road, do you really have to share your room with like several different people? Like, what are they doing? How are they budgeting it? Because I'm curious. Like, like, I don't know if y'all were funded directly by the Chicago Bulls, or if you would be funded by the NBA in general. Because for those of y'all listening, yeah, it's the Windy City Bulls. Needless to say, Chicago Bulls affiliate.
So how it was. I mean, it's not like how it was in a video game. No, like, but we did have, like, when I did get there, we did have old heads. Like, my teammates were C.J. Farrakhan Hall, Jakar Sampson, and these are jokers that I was watching in high school while they was playing in college. Like, C.J. Fair was playing at Syracuse. Like, he was a household name. Like, and I'm playing right beside him. Like, this is my guy. Like, we're going out to eat. We're hanging out. Like, this is my guy type stuff. Like, so that aspect is real because you're walking into not a professional world. So you can be professional. You can be 30 years old. You can be 35. You can be 19. You can be 22. Like, it's just professional now. So it really doesn't have age. You're just counted as professional. But as far as like the traveling stuff, I mean, I don't know where they hurt multiple people in the room, but it's like you either have your own room or you just rooming with somebody. It's like a basic hotel room, you know what I'm saying? 2 beds, whatever. Yeah. You're only gonna be there for one and a half night. So it's not how people say it is. Like, cause they say it's a G League, they think it's just like dog shit. Like, no, it's not that, bro. It's actually well taken care of. I know some teams, like, every team has a budget regardless, but their bigger team can always give them money. Like, I know Golden State Warriors, that was in the time they was winning the championships. I think they gave their G League team like an extra $2 million, $3 million, which is a big difference, like.
Yeah, man.
It's a huge difference when you're doing it like that, as far as a team giving you an extra $100,000 or something like that. But you was taken care of. It was like another step up from college. And I went to DePaul, which was Nike and everything, and then we got taken care of. But like when you got your G League, it's just that even more. But you still have like your downfalls. Like, we didn't fly private. We had charter buses, like not charter buses. We had to fly planes with other people, and we took trains to cities. But it was more so still us. Still living a life, like we're still living a normal life, like we still got to do normal things with travel, stuff like that. But it wasn't bad at all, trust me. And honestly, ever since I left, it got better. Like, the pay's better. Now you get your own rooms. Now you get your own house and stuff like that. So it's like it kind of got a lot bit better. So it's not how people made it seem like, oh, it's a G League, like they just throw you under the bus and dog shit. Like, nah, it's never was that.
Maybe that's what it was like when it was the D League, but not the
G League. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I definitely always thought of it as like, you can compare it to like Spanish league or like French league, maybe the second best league in the world, honestly, because when you make it anything that has NBA in front of it, that's how you kind of know that you pretty much made it at that point, and that's kind of how I've always thought of it. And then when I saw it depicted like that in the game, I was like, "There's no way. This doesn't really make as much sense." I'm sorry.
You know how 2K is, bro. 2K gonna try to sell you on anything. They gonna have everybody thinking they live. Like, still be riding horseback if they can.
Facts.
Oh man, they got the hardest life playing in the NBA G League. Oh man, no. I'm sure it was hard as shit, but like, beyond my eye level of comprehension as far as sports goes. But different types of difficulty.
Yeah. But I will say about that, like the friendships I met, well, the friendships I gained from that are like lifelong. So it actually was probably one of the best couple of years of my life playing in G League. Honestly,
Good.
just
Glad to
just
hear that.
just on that, yeah, just on that side, just like because you got to think about everybody's fighting for that one thing you're fighting for. So kind of got closer that way, you know.
So it's like how would I put it? I guess friendships that are also extreme rivalries because
You
you're
can say
both playing for
yeah.
minutes. Who was the most? Because I mean, you definitely played with players that ended up being in the league. So who would you?
So after Windy City, man, you went to Canada, and then now you're what is it, Slovenia? Is that where you're at?
Slovakia.
Slovakia right now. How was that, man? How was going from the G League to Canada to where you are now?
The thing from Canada, it wasn't really because that was just what right after COVID. So I wanted to just kind of stay active and anything. It was just like a little summer league. It wasn't that long. I mean, I went there, did my little thing, whatever. I mean, I put up numbers. I think I won MVP on my team. I made all team recognition for the league. I mean, I was like that was the expectation for me. Like that was what I was supposed to do because I already knew like I'm gonna come to this league and I'm gonna go ahead and kill it, get out the way because I needed something to do. Like being out of basketball for a few months, and then I was like, damn, I hope COVID doesn't end this shit forever. So I just did that, and
Yeah.
I just kind of get my groove together, and then after that, it was kind of slow market for me for that summer. So I ended up finding a team in Slovakia, Levice, that December, and I ended up going there, and shit took off from there, bro. Is I know you're gonna ask more questions about it, but yeah, I went there and just started handling business the right way because that was gonna be my first complete time overseas. Any other time before that was for a few months. Like when I went to Switzerland, it was for a few months. When I went to Luxembourg, it was for a few months. But I knew I was locked in with this team, so I had a different mindset. Like it's time to go in and do what I need to do, So it was a little bit different, but I loved it. From that whole like year was just crazy. From COVID happening in G League, leaving G League, and going to Canada, and then playing in Canada, and then going overseas. It was just like I had so much change in a little bit amount of time.
You ended with a nice little stretch too this last season. I think you had 30, second to the last game, and like 20. A couple games before that, you had 28. What really changed for you this season? Because you saw a really big uptick in all your numbers, man. I mean, you increased across the board. What really changed for you? Was it mindset, or was it just I'm finally here and I'm ready?
Well, my first year, when I went there, we got to the finals, and I got hurt game two. And if I didn't get hurt game two, I would have had a fourth championship right now. So it's like I got there and that happened. I was just so devastated. I was like, I don't want this to be the last chance I ever compete for another championship. So I took it upon myself to come back and then redeem myself. So I came back that following year. I won it. And I felt like I won two championships that following year, the Albia Cup and then the league championship. And at that point I felt like it was just such a relief, It was like that weight off my shoulders. Just always losing like in college, and we wasn't undefeated in the G League, but we still lost. Like, so I just felt like actually winning something for the first time was like one of the things that kind of like got me going, and it changed my mindset completely different coming into next year. I felt like it was that way because I won and I led the team in scoring, and I led the team. Like I felt like the team wouldn't go as far as long as I take them there, and I knew that coming back in this past year. I just knew it was my team. Like it was my team to take to wherever we wanted to go, and my mindset was just like I don't know what it was, bro. It was just I was just in tunnel vision, bro. Like I felt like I got what I needed to do last year winning championship, but this year was a lot different. It's like I had a point to prove. Like I like looking at these teams paying these type of players. I'm like, why I'm not here, and I know I'm better. Why are they not doing the things I'm doing if they're getting paid this money? But I felt like I had a point to prove to these coaches, to these teams, and stuff like that. So I took this year as one of those years as like this is my statement year, And I look back at it and it was crazy because this last year, I cried like a baby. This championship, I was just like, because I knew it was my expectation, like I came here for this reason. So like, there's no tears of joy. This is what I wanted to do. This is my expectation of myself. And I just put myself on a higher standard. I just put myself on a higher. If somebody wanted this expectation, I upped it just because like I just knew what I am as a basketball player and what I am as a person. So I felt like the only way to show that was on this court and winning, and I did it. And it being one of the hardest seasons of my life ever, and I always gonna think that, always gonna believe that, it being one of the hardest seasons, and me being the only American doing what I did, I give myself a pat on the back, bro. Like a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people say they think they can, but you can't be away for 10 months going through all that shit and being the only American and carrying your team and being down 3-1 in the finals and stepping up, averaging a double-double and winning that shit. So it was like, bro, I did like, my mindset was just completely different from a lot of people. I feel like it's just like, it's either you got it or you don't. And I just feel like I got it.
Do you see yourself back with this team next year? I don't know if you're under contract or not, or do you know where you're going next year? 'Cause you're still in your prime.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and that's kind of be the hardest thing. Like, even though I did what I did for this team, every summer has been a slow market for me. Like I still don't know where I'm going. I still don't know if somebody gonna give me what I deserve. So it's kind of like I don't ever get down with myself because I know what I did, but sometimes like, was it ever enough? But I'm not going back there just simply because I have nothing else to prove. I did everything I could do for that team, blood, sweat, and tears, literally. I just don't have no more aspiration to go back to something that I literally ran for 3 years. Like I really ran that place for 3 years. I mean, nobody can tell me any different, nothing different, and I just don't think I don't have any more reason to go back to somewhere, and I just don't have nothing else to prove in that country. I think I made a mark. I mean, it's crazy when you got a whole city call you a legend. I don't think people understand how like that can make you feel. Like I'm winning a championship and people are telling me thank you. I should be saying them thank you for accepting me, but they're telling me thank you for I'm doing this for the city. So it's like I know the mark I left behind at that place. So it's like I don't need to really go back and change anything because it's already there. It's already set in stone. It's like it's stamped. Like I really literally stamped myself in that place. So I think it's just time for me to move on and expand my career. Like you said, I'm still in my prime. I get better every year. So it's just like I'm just trying to take it as far as it can take me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you're still, what, 28 still, right?
28, yeah, man.
Yeah, so
That's basketball prime.
that's basketball prime. I mean,
Basketball prime, bro.
you got plenty of playing time left. I'm sure the market will pick up some. Yeah, I need to see you back in the G League or something where it's easy to get access to those games.
I always tell myself I got to do one more year. It might be this year, it might not, but I'll definitely do one more year. But I can only do it playing for the team I was playing with and the coach I was playing with. So I'm good. I'm just good enough that I kept contact with him. Like we have a relationship. I can text him and stuff like that. I know my first year, a G League coach actually flew out and saw me play, which meant a lot to me at that time. So it's like I need to give myself another chance just to go out there and see what happens because you never know. Shit, somebody might call me and be like, "Hey, we got a contract for you on this big team." So you just never know. But I'm gonna give myself that chance again for sure. Like I just don't know when. It might be this year, it might be next year, it might be 2 years from now. But I'm definitely gonna give myself a chance again.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
You never know. You got to remember a couple years ago when that cat from the Lakers got called up. He was in the G League. I think he said for 15 years or something like that. He got his moment. He dropped 24. He ain't
That's
looked.
all you need, man. Is just that one chance, bro. That's all it is.
I mean, look at when Ramon Sessions got traded to the Lakers, and he was playing next to Kobe, and like that's when his name kind of started blowing up. They were talking about him on ESPN all the time, and then yeah, he might have like faded off in the news later, but he still had such a great career after that.
Yeah, he did, bro. He did.
So I mean, Myrtle Beach attitude.
Yeah, I wanted to just touch base one quick question on the overseas. So I don't know if you watch any other podcasts, but There's another podcast called The Raw Room with a
Yeah,
couple
I
of
saw that.
basketball
Yeah.
players. So they had a former overseas player. So they played 13 years overseas. I don't know if you've seen the clip, so I wanted to ask you
The
about it.
tall, light skinned dude, right?
Yeah, they asked. They said that he had his pay held a couple times. So just wanted. We didn't get to ask that to Elijah. You don't have to expand on or anything. He was just saying he walked into the room one time and they told him that they ain't got it. They said sometimes he went 2 months, 3 months without pay. So I wanted to see if you had any experiences like that overseas. All
Thankfully, no.
okay.
All the most I had to wait for a late paycheck was probably like a week, but that's understandable because I was just getting there, and then all the stuff got to finalize. But I never had to go no, like that would not, because I think when he was overseas, times were a lot different,
Oh
So
yeah.
pay was a lot different. You don't have like direct deposit like how we do now. You just can't click on your phone. So, and there are teams, there are situations, there are countries that are like that. Like I hear it all the time. Like I didn't get paid this month, or this is 2 months late. Like I never been in that situation. Knock on wood. I don't want to be in that situation. Like because I know how to. I can't even imagine how that feels. Like yeah, at the end of the day, like we're working, we have a family, we have bills, we got to take care of our family too. So it's like you can't cut me out of my money and not help and not have me be able to take care of my family back at home. So I can tell that's like a something you don't want to be a part of. But there are situations, there are teams and people that been in that place before. So I don't want to even want to think about that because I lose my shit. I'm gonna want to go home as soon as I don't get my paycheck. Go ahead and get up out of here.
Yeah, for real. You're not paying me, and no, I'm not playing another.
Yeah,
Not
Exactly.
trying
It's like if you get hurt, they can just send you home and still not pay you because you got hurt and you just out of luck.
Yeah.
2 months is just OD. That's
Too OD, bro.
that's great. 2 months? Are you hooping? Nah.
And yeah, it's different, man. But hope I never had that situation with my team. They knew because they knew I would get on their ass. Like, yo,
Yeah.
it's the 18th. I don't know where it's at, but it's the 18th. Where you at? But
Yeah, I
they
mean,
made sure I was good though.
do you think I mean obviously, you alluded to some of that being, differences in times, but do you think some of that comes back on the globalization of basketball now, like where it's way more global, teams are putting a lot more money into it, like owners are putting a lot more money into it, and agents are a lot more on their asses too, I'd assume, right? To
Say
pay
it
their
one more
players.
time.
Do you think agents are like more on like teams' asses now to like pay their clients too
Yeah,
because they got to get their cut?
yeah. Yeah, because the players are on their agents' ass.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
it's like it's a domino effect. If I don't get paid, you gonna hear about it, and then the agent gonna tell them the team about it. So it's all on the line. Like the first person you gonna tell is your agent. Like I haven't got paid. Can you contact the people for me, please? But me, I ain't going to the agent. I'm going to the source. I'm going straight to the office. Hey, like I'm knocking on doors. Hey, my guy, I'm getting paid today or what? So
Yeah.
it's like, but most people go to the agents. But as far as the basketball part expanding, it's expanding. Like, yeah, it's starting to get way bigger. After a while, I feel like there's gonna be leagues way bigger. Well, there's only like two league right now bigger than G League, but these domestic countries are starting to gonna have leagues bigger than G League here soon. I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lot of NBA players coming over to Europe now, like
Yep.
Jabari Parker, Kemba Walker, Ben McLemore. A lot of people are starting to come overseas now, so it's only gonna get bigger. Like once they see these names signing now, it's gonna be like, oh wow, shit, PJ Joseph just signed to Partizan, so
Yeah.
it's starting to expand a little bit, man. It's starting to get a little bigger. It's gonna be a lot harder for people to get jobs now.
So since you brought it up, I do want to mention the pickup game video that Anthony McRae, again, shout out Anthony McRae, sent me a video when you were at DePaul and y'all were playing pickup against Jabari Parker.
Yeah,
And it was like literally just Jabari Parker like pick up highlights and he's like, look at who you see. And so I watched and like a minute in, it's like you draining a three in Jabari Parker's face. What was that like at a time when, Jabari Parker was the number 2 pick, like I think the previous year or something, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, the point is at that time, bro, being in Chicago, like our gym was known for NBA players coming in and out to work out and train. Like there's a handful of times I was in there rebounding for Derrick Rose, Jabari coming there all the time. You know, Will Bynum from Chicago. It when NBA teams came and played Chicago Bulls, they practiced at our gym. So it was like a norm for us at that time. And that wasn't the first time Jabari came and they picked up. Like that was the time Baller's Life was there. But it was literally like a norm for us to just see that in our gym on a daily. Like so I mean, it really wasn't even anything new for me at that point.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it was just crazy being, back home and then getting sent that video, and it's like, what the hell? Trey's playing with Jabari Parker. Like what's going on up there?
Yeah, that shit was dope though, bro. Times like that, like you're always gonna remember it just because. And I mean, I'm blessed to say I have played pickup with some of the best players you can think of. Like Jabari Parker's a great player, even though his NBA career doesn't show for that. He's still a great player. Like
Yeah, I mean,
just
there's a
being
reason
able
he
to,
went number 2.
yeah, and just being able just to be in those type of environments is just it was good, bro. It's crazy.
Who would you say the best player that you've ever played against, period, is?
Jordan McRae from Tennessee University. Look him up. Bucket. 6'7", 6'8", miniature KD, literally. Anywhere you think he can score that ball is going in, bro. He's phenomenal. He's the only player I know to give us 40 in the second half.
I guess who would be the player that you were fangirling, I guess, when you met or were playing
Nobody.
with? Don't even cap, man. I know you.
Nope, trust me, I don't do that.
Nah.
I've never been like, damn, I ain't never been that type of person. Shit, I'm about to tie my shoes up and go at you if anything.
Nah, you were
But ain't
like, man,
nobody.
I'm playing against Joel Turner.
No, I really never had. I really never had a moment like that where it was like, oh wow, I'm playing against this person. And I really never had that moment.
I mean, that's good. I mean, I guess it can give you a little bit of adrenaline, but it can also throw you off if you're not just locked in.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, I never wanted to get caught in the starstruck of it all. Like I was just so ready just to play basketball, and like I said, I never cared who was in front of me.
So we typically end these off with a little speed round. All right, so we're gonna ask you about 5-6 questions. They're gonna be random as hell. So you just gotta understand that. So you answer first thing that comes to your mind, and we'll go. So, first question is: do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Okay. What's the worst movie of all time? Or the worst movie you've seen of all time?
Okay, worst movie I seen.
All time.
How High 2.
That's what everybody says.
Really?
Trash. I didn't like it.
That's what everybody says.
I didn't even bother watching it.
That or the new Insidious movie.
I haven't watched that.
Okay.
Trash.
Okay. What is your go-to snack on a road trip? Drink and food. So you got to get two. You got to get a
drink. I'm gonna go with a light blue or yellow Gatorade, and my snack. Okay, in Europe, I'll get the little day 7 croissants with the cream and stuff in it. Killed those. I'll get like 5 of them. And a Gatorade, I'm good.
Yeah.
What's your most embarrassing story ever?
This doesn't have to be basketball, bro. This can be anything.
It could be anything.
Most embarrassing story. Oh man. I think, oh man, I don't know. I think I was doing I think it was at college. I was doing like a little, what's the shit they do? Kind of like a podcast, but like a news channel thing, whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
That they do the videos, yeah.
A lot of private schools have those.
I was on the microphone. My teammates came back and said something, and I was like trying not to laugh, and he said something again, and like I laughed so hard, like snot came all at my nose. It was on TV. I was like,
oh man, oh god. I hope that clip's like buried deep on the internet, bro.
I hope they deleted it. I don't know where it's at, but I hope they never find it.
You know what? In case Kenny watches this, I want to out him for his most embarrassing moment on our football team. Sorry, I know this interrupts the speed route, but do you remember that time we're sitting there? We're driving somewhere. I think it was Georgetown or something.
Uh-huh.
And we're sitting there. It's me, you, David King, and Kenny's. I'm not even paying y'all any attention. Y'all are right here. I'm sitting like staring ahead because we're about to get there. And Kenny out of nowhere goes, "Y'all ever notice Joel has like really pretty eyes? You remember that? Just sitting there on a football bus."
Kenny was one of a kind, man.
I love Kenny. That shit was so out there, but both of y'all are like, what the man?
What the fuck are you
Shut
talking
the
about,
hell
man?
up. Oh god, I remember losing my shit. Like, and I normally try to keep myself like pretty composed, like sitting there like going to the game that I'm not about to play in. But 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 man, I lost it.
Yeah, King said some wild stuff at that point, man.
Coach Gordon probably at the driving the bus yelling at us or some shit because we're laughing as we're about to pull up. Oh man,
We really
sorry.
had a whole bunch of comedians on that team, man.
Oh, 100%,
Too many
100%.
comedians.
That's see. I think that's where I got my sense of humor from, was being on that team. Definitely helped me come out of my shell and make me a lot more.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts. Being around us, facts.
yeah. I'm sorry. All right, Troy, back.
You good? What you been doing this off season, man?
Bro, just been training, bro. Chilling, staying off my feet, just making sure my body is good for wherever I go. You know, just taking it easy, working hard, but taking it easy, you know.
Okay. And then you talking to two avid gamers, man. So what's your favorite video game of all?
Whew. Well, I'm always gonna be a Call of Duty dude, bro. I'm nice at the duty. I'm nice on the sticks. But I
Okay.
haven't been playing that. But either that or 2K. Those are the two I'd be really be into it. Like I game. Like I literally game.
No, Troy's pretty good at 2K, man. I don't know.
You don't want no problems.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got different builds. Wherever one you want me to pull out, I got them. With you on the P5?
Well, I mean, I could get it on P5, but I got it on the PC. I'm on PC.
Oh yeah, he really a gamer then.
Oh yeah.
He really a gamer. He get down. He on the PC.
I've been thinking about that this year. Do I want to get 2K on PC? Because it's been a couple of years since I've got 2K. Because I mean, they just ended up being the same game year after year for a while, and I don't really like the virtual currency shit. But
Yeah, I hate it.
It was crazy though. I don't know if y'all seen the last trailer. They had like
The new 24?
yeah.
Fire.
Now they was wilding with putting Jordan Poole calling for ISO Draymond. They ain't need to
I
do all
love
that.
I didn't see
That
that.
was the best That's the best marketing scheme they ever did.
They didn't need to do that.
That's so
but
messed up. Man.
I mean, they had KD's move like it looks just like bro. KD. Like it was just so smooth.
It's already pre-ordered. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's gonna be there.
I think now that it's crossplay, yeah. I mean, I think PC definitely gonna be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be crossplay this time. Madden's supposed to be the same thing, but it fucked up on the first day. So they were like, "Yeah, we ain't gonna put it on there yet."
Yeah,
I hope it's gonna be lit, bro.
Yeah. I hope so too.
I mean, we can all get on there. I'll destroy both of y'all.
Oh yeah, just shoot the thing. We'll definitely get on there.
Yeah, for sure. Were there any more questions in the speed round?
That was it. That's all. I only had 6.
First question that comes to your head, Troy. What's your favorite shoes, Trey? What's favorite shoes you got?
Shoes?
Yeah, basketball shoes.
Right now I'm playing in both set of LeBrons. The low ones, the 20s, and then the NXXT. I like both of them right now.
I got a pair of LeBrons. My feet don't fit them though.
They're comfortable right now. I'm rocking with those for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm liking Giannis's right now. That's my go-to hooping shoe.
Never had a Giannis.
Bro, they so comfortable. Man, yeah, they so comfortable.
It's like that's my thing. I need comfortability, but I also need to be close to the ground. You know.
Yeah, they don't have the thick. Like they're not that thick, so I don't really like how thick some basketball shoes are. Like, my favorites used to be them early LeBrons, man, but after he got to like 18, 19, I hated the way they were looking.
Bro, the 20 series is like that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
They like that.
I think my best ones, at least when I actually, went and played basketball, was probably Harden's.
He got some nice
Mm.
shoes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, his is nice.
I got
I
some.
heard the ones that are out now look pretty comfortable too.
Yeah.
The other ones were pretty comfortable. They were just kind of tight on my feet because I got white feet. But overall, I mean, I feel like great grip. Added a couple inches to my height. I'm out there 6'5" for no reason.
Oh my goodness.
At the X gym. But yeah, it's been great having you on.
Absolutely.
Really, really happy to see you again. I mean, this is the closest thing I'm gonna get to a high school reunion because I'm not going.
I'm not going either though.
Yeah. I mean, it's been. Yeah, I mean, you said it before the podcast. It's been 10 years since we've seen each other. It's crazy.
It's been a while, man.
We
It's good
both
seeing you,
look
bro.
different.
Yeah, we beard gang, man. We all bearded up.
Yeah, Choice Beard Gang. Yeah,
we all bearded up.
I'm gonna grow this out to be a Viking beard. That's gonna be in later episodes, though. Yeah, man, I'm gonna start braiding this shit. Watch.
Wow. Cool.
But yeah, man, it's great having you for this. And yeah, again, this is Trey McCallum, Myrtle Beach legend, Levice legend, DePaul legend, Big East legend.
Oh yeah.
Try to be, man. I try to be. I appreciate y'all having me, though. I really appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Appreciate you, man, and appreciate everybody else who watched it, got this far. And y'all enjoy y'all's day, man. Trey, thank you again. God bless you on the next season, wherever it's gonna be. Hopefully it continues to go up, man. Hopefully it continues
Appreciate
to go
you.
up.
Appreciate you. Best of luck to y'all podcast, man. Y'all doing your thing. Just keep running up. Keep manifesting everything y'all want to do. Just make sure y'all just stay focused and keep doing your thing, man. It's gonna happen for y'all for sure. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Man.